Hello, Sagittarian friends. How are you doing during these strange, strange times? Of all the signs, you could probably be the one that's finding the most interesting things to do as things get weird, huh? So I hope you are not bored. I hope you're finding interesting things to do right now, especially for those of you who are stuck at home. I sort of want to talk a little bit about some astrological things that are happening before I delve into your reading. We have a beautiful full moon on the 7th in Libra, so make sure you have some fun stuff planned for that evening. Make sure you've got, a good phone date set up, or, a dinner party with your housemate or whatever. This is going to be a moon that really does make you feel antsy, especially in terms of connection with others. So make sure you pre-plan to reach out. All right? We also have a really nice conjunction happening on the 4th between Jupiter and Pluto that really spotlights the benevolent side of authority and governance, and I really am happy that that's here right now. It makes me have a little more faith in the government, because you could have some other transits that are not supportive of authority or government institutions, And then on the 22nd, we have a new moon in Taurus, which is an earth sign, and it falls on Earth Day. So let's make that a special day to thank Mother Earth, and it's just very interesting to see how resilient she is in these times that the humans are quieting down, but, the canals of Venice are clearing up. It's just beautiful to see her resiliency. All right, let's see what the Divine Messenger wants to bring to you. Oh, fascinating. Sagittarius, you have double kings right in the middle of your reading. We will see. Oh my gosh, there's a third king. Fascinating. Okay, I get the picture. Okay, so there is a ton of energy in this reading already, and I'm only halfway in. The first thing that I'm really, of course, seeing are all these kings. King energy is very dynamic. It's very yang, and you have the King of Fire, the King of Water, and the King of Earth showing up immediately. They're the first three cards I pulled. What this says to me is that this month could be a month where you are just multitasking, doing many things in many different areas of your life. And I love that because you're also sort of sandwiched between the Fool, which is the very first card in the deck. I mean, that's like jumping into some new territory. And I really like your Headspace card. There's a lot of thought going on, a lot of movement. And here's the deal. If you aren't really experiencing that, Sagittarius, there is a message here. There are some things that you're giving energy to that you are not getting back, okay? You're giving, but you're not getting. You need to walk away from those things. Now, this can be relationship. It can be job. It can be a habit. It can be an obligation. I don't know what it is. But if you aren't feeling this sort of dynamism and movement and energy and excitement, it's because your energy is going someplace where you need to pull it back from, okay? Beautiful. You have the star watching over you. The star is a beautiful ethereal energy. It really is about having some dreams, right? And the star says you can achieve and have what you want in the future. Whatever it is you're dreaming of now, you will have in the future. The one big thing that sort of is stopping that is that you might be putting your energy in the wrong place today. So put it in the right place, soon, and you will be able to bring in what you want. So for some of you, Sages, and definitely not all of you, okay, but I've got to address this. There is in your relationship sector, you have this really big love card, but you also have the death card. So I am going to say that what they may be talking about for some of you Sagittarians is that you have been in a relationship where you are not getting what you want, and it's time to move on. No two ways about that message. But this is a very positive reading, and of course, all the readings that I'm doing for signs that are a general reading are going to come with different levels of intensity. So this is the most extreme interpretation of these cards, okay? Death and love, that's end of a relationship. But I will say this, if you are in a stable, happy, long-term relationship, Sagittarius, when this card shows up, it's just a message that there may be some things within your relationship that do need to change to create more happiness and more lasting happiness. So just take, have some direct communication, talk with your partner, be like, hey, I sort of wish these things could change, That definitely is another way of reading these energies. And for some of you Sagittarius, the third road is that if you're single, some of you might have unrequited love for somebody, and being able to exist in this sort of, unrequited love fantasy must be serving you on some level, even though it's very painful. You might want to really look into letting go of someone who, at least at this point, you're not going to be with, so you can open yourself up to someone you will. Good news coming. Okay. All right. So at the end of your reading, so overall this is very positive. I have two different signs that by the end of April, some information you've been waiting to hear about, you're going to get. Most likely it's going to be positive. I will say that for some of you, you really are going to be needing to tighten your purse strings. So, but because you've got positive messages coming in around this possible disruption in your income, eventually it should be worked out. So it's always a good idea to have, things laid aside for a rainy day. So for those of you who have done that, this should not be very anxiety provoking. For the rest of you, it might be a good idea just to start, having a pantry, having a savings, things like that. Things that it turns out 40% of Americans don't do. It's $5 a week in a saving is $260 at the end of the year. It might not be a lot, but in a couple years, it starts adding up. But your final jumping off card is the Knight of Fire, which is actually a really fun card with a lot of movement. So here's the thing. This reading is just filled with energy and with creativity and movement. You have the star blessing you. Please focus on the positive, but make sure you're saving up for a rainy day to the best of your ability, okay? And make sure all the relationships in your life are good for you, too. And if they're not, you might want to look at that. Anyway, Sagittarius, I will be checking in with you next month. And until then, I really hope and pray that you stay healthy and happy. Okay, bye-bye.